Like, I feel like this is a common thread with like superhero people and even more so more Disney adults.
It'd be a different story if they cast like Viola Davis to play Thomas Edison.
That's what I mean.
Like,
it's like Gandhi and they whitewashed him or something.
Yeah,
and they actually, instead of Ben Kingsley, it was like the whitest fucking guy ever. Like that.
Like
that
fucking,
yeah.
like
that,
Michael
fucking,
Cera's gone.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yo, what it do? Oh my God. Episode 226 of the Joystick Show.
Holy shit.
It's been a roller coaster. I actually want to go a little bit down that roller coaster, but before we even get on the ride, you know what I mean? Before we even get into the park.
Yeah, we ain't even.
We just got into the parking lot. You know, we're about to sneak in some sandwiches and some juices. I mean, we're Hispanic. That's what we do.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Absolutely.
But, you know, before we get into any of that, make sure to go ahead and subscribe to Team Joystick. Make sure to like this episode. And if you want to know what we're talking about, there you go. Look at that. You know, I pushed Jerry out the fucking way for some words, because words are better than Jerry. And now Jerry's better than words. All right. Yeah, like I said, I went back. I was watching some old episodes of the Joystick Show.
Okay.
And I was just going down memory lane, and I was like, "Fuck, we've been doing this for a minute now."
Yeah,
like,
man, it's cataloging our life, Loki.
We've gotten older. You know, you're getting married soon. It's a whole thing, and it's kind of cool to see like the visual changes to the show too, right? Like when the basement was beige, and when we had the long table,
The lighting.
the lighting. I also miss having a candle on the table. That was a vibe, you know.
They'll be back.
Gotta get one of those.
Look at a candle.
But you know, I was sitting around and I was like, we're here. We got the whole gang together. Last week was just Dylan and I. I'd love to do a segment. We haven't done a segment in a while.
Holy shit!
Right?
Yeah. Could I say that there are over 300,000 podcasts in this city?
Yeah.
But only one of them does fantastic trivia-based segment.
But
I don't know if it
only
is.
one of them has a co-host that wears a sick ass shirt.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that, or a sweater, for that
Whatever
matter.
it is.
But I was kind of, you know, perplexed. I didn't know what kind of segment I wanted to do. I didn't really have an idea. So Dylan was questioning me about it upstairs. He was like, "What is it? Is it one that's been in the vault and stuff?" And I was like, "No, it's technically one we've done before. It's actually gonna be I don't know what the word is for a threequel
Ooh.
to our very first segment ever." So do you remember what our first segment ever was?
Shit, it was
If you get it, I'll give you a point right off the bat.
it was like news headlines. I don't remember the name.
It was news headline.
I don't remember the name.
He already has a lead.
Look at that. I'm not gonna give him the point for that.
Yeah, I didn't know the name of this.
We're gonna be playing State Your Case.
Yes.
Yes. And I'll go ahead and
That's what it's called.
explain it, but we're gonna be doing a bit of a different variation. We did State Your Case. We did State Your Case 2, the statening or whatever the fuck it was called. But now, official graphics card. Boom. State Your Case 3
Is the 3
Empire
the E in
State of Mind. Shut the fuck up, Dylan. Okay, let the graphic be the thing. All right?
Okay.
Maybe. All right, now the graphic's gone. If you don't remember how the segment goes, I've got some funny news headlines for you. And typically how this would go is after I read the news headline, I'd give you 4 states where you could go ahead and pick which state you think that headline was from.
Okay.
However, in today's little twist, every single headline comes from the great old state of New York.
Oh.
Half of them, I think, are from New York City. The other half are upstate. But the point is, we're going to be learning about some neighborhoods in great old New York State.
Okay.
Right.
And I have 8 headlines for you. And we're going to go ahead and learn about some funny shit that's happened around these parts. Sound good?
Okay. I like
Note
this.
of the time real quick. Sounds good. Cool. Yeah. All right. You guys ready for number 1? Let's get right into it. Marijuana, actually, I was going to keep the actual headline, but I like the one that I wrote anyway. Garbage bag full of marijuana rains down onto sidewalk from rooftop. It's a full garbage bag. That's pretty crazy. Damn. Was that in Sunset Park, Astoria, LIC, or Bushwick?
Damn.
Read the neighborhoods again.
Sunset Park, Astoria, LIC, or Bushwick?
Can I ask what year it was?
I have no idea, buddy.
I think I remember this
Can
in
you
the
use it in a
news.
sentence?
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting because we're gonna be like, we're gonna ignore the racial profiling that may occur in this segment, but I will say that so a lot of these neighborhoods don't smell like weed. So now I'm trying to think. I don't know if I'm overthinking it or this is someone laying low key.
It was Astoria. Final answer.
I'm gonna go Sunset Park.
I'm gonna go LIC.
Got 2 for LIC. Oh no, LIC Astoria Sunset Park, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dylan is correct. That was in Sunset Park.
Nice.
Apparently,
None
it
of
was
those
due
places.
to a drug deal gone wrong.
Oh,
I don't know how it results in a garbage bag of weed being dumped over the side of a building, but you know.
Is that like were they meeting on the roof like a movie? It was in the briefcase.
That's what I'm assuming.
He grabs it. He's like, "You didn't even bring you didn't even bring a briefcase, bro. You brought a fucking garbage bag out the window."
Wish I could have been there. All right, number 2. Here's a funny one.
Okay.
We're going upstate for this one. Amish buggy collides with vehicle and injures 4. Some crazy shit right there. Was this in Farmersville, Saratoga Springs, Pine Hills, or Del Mar?
Delmar.
Can you read the headline?
Okay, these places could be made up. I only recognize one.
Yeah, word.
Amish buggy collides with vehicle and injures 4. We got
What kind
Sounds
of
like
vehicle?
New York.
We got Farmersville, Saratoga Springs, Pine Hills, and Del Mar.
Okay, you think that it would be fucking Farmersville because it's Amish, but I'm gonna go the last one, Del Mar.
That's what I said too.
I'm gonna go with Saratoga Springs.
You are all incorrect. And I'm going to say,
Farmer?
Dylan, go with your gut.
It's
It
Farmersville.
happened in Farmersville.
Damn,
That
dude.
sounds so typical.
Yeah.
I agree
I
with
was-
you,
I
Dylan.
was
I
like,
had the same
I thought you were gonna
process.
fucking. I thought you were gonna put us for a
Yeah.
fucking spin.
No?
Amishville
Just go with your gut,
duck.
pal. All right. Here's a weird one. Ready? A New York State trooper allegedly steals women's underwear from Walmart. Was this in Morrisville, Hamilton, Wompsville, or Oneida?
These places are
That's
weird.
a fake place.
I'll be real with you. All of these,
Wompsville.
Fucking Chain Chump Village, bro. Come on.
every answer you're gonna hear out of my mouth is a legitimate neighborhood or village in New York State, and yes, I had a great laugh with that as well. But one more time, New York State trooper allegedly steals women's underwear from Walmart, Morrisville, Hamilton, Wompsville, or Oneida.
I'm gonna say Wompsville.
I'll go Morris.
Hamilton.
The correct answer was Oneida. None of you got
Fuck.
that. Damn, you guys are on a fucking roll right now.
I thought I'm doing pretty well.
How is it possible, bro? What are the chances of that?
Right, two
That's
and
bad.
2 in a row
That's
that
bad.
nobody gets one. But Dylan's in the lead
Yeah,
with
Dylan
one.
is in
It's
the
still
lead.
pretty even actually if you think about it. So if you guys continue
I threw
to get
people
it
off my logic.
communally wrong,
I was
you'll be
being
fine.
quiet. I gotta be loud again.
All right. Keeping it upstate. Couple says man littered on their property for 3 years. Was this in Lakeview, Riverside, Allentown, or in Park Meadow?
Lakeview.
Can you repeat the names again?
Lakeview, Riverside, Allentown, Park Meadow.
I'll go Riverside.
Park Meadow.
One for Riverside, one for Park Meadow, one for Lakeview. Before we get into this, the
Are we gonna-
story
No.
about this is actually what's really, really funny. Okay.
Okay.
So this family, right, this husband and wife, they kept complaining to the city because every day they'd wake up and they'd find coffee cups littered in their front yard.
Yeah,
but it was the
cereal
same
litter.
coffee cups like every single time. So it was like a serial litterer. So they set up a camera, but the camera wasn't even like capable of figuring out what the problem was. But a neighbor was like, yo, I've noticed that this guy drives in a van past your house every day and like throws something into their yard. And they found out that the guy was an ex-coworker of like the wife and had been doing this like out of spite for 3 years every day. He would just drive by and throw a coffee cup in their yard. But this happened in Lakeview, so good for you, Joey.
Yay.
You and Dylan both get a point.
Nice.
No, yeah.
That's kind of wild that he really dedicated that much time to just coffee cup.
Yeah.
Coffee cup.
I love spiteful crimes like that. So that's 1 point for Dylan, 1 point for Joey. Let's moving on to, what is this, number 5? 4-foot alligator found very why can't I fucking speak? Lethargic. There we go.
Large dick.
Now keep in mind, this is in good old New York City. Was this in Rockaway, Flatbush, Prospect Park, or Brighton Beach? Where did they find a lethargic alligator?
This was the second place.
Flatbush.
Yeah.
fuck.
Can you read all of them?
Rockaway, Flatbush, Prospect Park, Brighton Beach.
No way this happened in my backyard. I feel like I would have heard about this.
No, it did.
They found a lethargic
I'm gonna go with Joey on
alligator.
this one. Flatbush, ride or die.
2 for Flatbush.
Brighton Beach.
Jerry's gonna go with Bryant Beach, guys. You all suck at this
Rockaway.
fucking game. It was actually Prospect Park.
Damn. That's
Found
like a densely populated area. That's fucking crazy.
They found a 4-foot alligator who was just fucking really lazy.
That's
and
very
apparently
densely
it was,
populated.
It was because of just like the weather. They weren't used to it, so he was just kind of like, you know. But it's kind of funny. All right, moving it on to numero
Makes sense, though.
6. Firefighters respond to fire alarm only to discover it was triggered by a horse. Was this in Yonkers, Sleepy Hollow, Lewisboro, or Bedford?
One more time.
Yonkers, Sleepy Hollow, Lewisboro, or Bedford? There is a picture of the firefighter posed with the horse right next to the fire alarm. It's really great.
It's happened in Yonkers.
I'll go. I've never heard of it, so I'll go Lewisboro
I
or
was
whatever.
about to say Lewisboro too.
So
Yeah.
2 for Lewisboro and 1 for Yonkers. Remind me to do this with different people next time. Bedford. Jesus
That's
Christ.
Connecticut, bro.
Oh my God. It's Westchester, actually.
So me and
Bedford.
Dylan are
Connecticut.
winning through just 1 point.
Yeah. But we have 2 more to go, so anything can happen. all
Yep,
right?
I can win. I can win.
Jerry's gonna get those next two right.
Jerry
Jerry
could-
mark my
Jerry
fucking
could
words.
win, Jerry could tie, and you could all win. We'll see. All right. Book nearly 90 years overdue returned to New York Library.
Shit.
Was this in Rye, Larchmont, Scarsdale, or Tuckahoe?
Larchmont?
I've been to I've been to these places. These are real.
You been to Tuckahoe?
These are all real. I
These
told
are all
you,
real.
None of these are fake.
Say these again.
So you
like
say-
I don't even remember what they were. Like,
Rye, Larchmont, Scarsdale, Tuckahoe.
Rye, don't copy me.
Larchmont.
I was about to say Larchma, yeah.
1 for Rye, 2 for Larchmont.
I'm laughing at the fact that it sounds like you're like a wizard casting a spell saying these names.
Larchmont, Scarsdale, Tuckahoe. All right. In actuality, it was Larchmont.
Let's go!
Good for Jerry. Good for Joey. That is 2 points for Joey, 1 point for Dylan, 1 point for Jerry. This is going to be a very interesting outcome because we're going into the final question. Okay? Or rather, the final headline. Man pays $6.2 million for banana art and ends up eating it.
Is that the one that was taped?
Oh,
It was taped to a wall. But where did he buy it?
this was recent.
Did he buy it in Midtown, the Upper West Side, Harlem, or Soho?
It's all Manhattan.
It's on Manhattan, Soho.
Say it one more time.
Midtown, Upper West Side, Harlem, or Soho?
I don't know. Upper West Side.
Soho.
Midtown.
Might be Soho.
The correct answer is the Upper West Side.
Dang.
We have a tie between Dylan and Joe.
Nice.
Interesting.
Going down.
So, shit. I'll tell you what.
Okay.
Let's look up funny New York headlines.
Let's go. Let's go.
Current,
Let's go.
yeah, current one.
I'm gonna do this completely randomly, all right?
All right.
And I'll say New York City headline, just so
Okay.
that we know that it's like, you know.
All right.
Okay, here we go.
Let's do it, guys.
Here we go. Let me find it. Let me open it and find an exact location. Oh, perfect.
Oh, God, okay.
All right. Controversial Brooklyn goldfish puddle has apparently been destroyed.
I know this one.
Give me a neighborhood, and whoever is the closest geographically will get the win.
Damn it. This was in,
I'm gonna go Bed-Stuy, do or die.
This was in, fuck, man. It was, I'm gonna say Sunset Park.
Holy fucking shit, it was Bed-Stuy. That's in. He nailed it. There it is right there. Bed-Stuy.
Man. I knew about this story. My
nice.
sister was telling me, but
Insane. It was
I didn't know where
Tompkins
exactly it was.
Avenue and Hancock Street. So fucking good shit, Dylan. You nailed that. Give it to the geography king.
Oh
Props.
shit.
But thanks for playing State Your Case, Empire
That was
State of
good.
Mind. I hope you had fun. I know none of you got a lot of those right.
That was
but
good though.
I promise for the fourth one we'll go back to states and we'll.
That was. I mean, that was hard. Even the States was pretty like
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
hard. This was difficult.
But I missed segments. It's been a while. I wanted to bring them back. Wanted to educate you guys on some stupid shit. You know, which is usually what we do here. But yeah.
I like the horse
That's
one.
the best stuff.
And now other people can talk.
Whatchamacallit? What a segue. I'm recently watching the new Spider-Man show. Is that something you're watching too, Bob?
I'm gonna be real with you. So like I want to watch it, but I haven't finished X-Men 97, and I'm like I want to finish one thing at a time. But on YouTube they had like the 10-minute opening to I guess like the first episode. It was the scene in front of the high school where it's like Doctor Strange and like the Venom variant or whatever. And based off of that, plus watching the theme song, it's fucking dope. I was not expecting it to be as cool as it was.
What Spider-Man show?
It's a new animated Spider-Man show called Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. It's on Disney Plus, and I think it also looks dope. But there's so many people complaining about the show, the way it's looked, the way it's styled, the writing, and for the classic saying what people say when they don't like things, oh, it's woke. Like it's very woke. And I was like, this so I'm like, what makes the show woke? I'm like immediately trying to see like what would people say that would make this woke.
Is it because Osborn is black?
It's literally because they made everyone like black. They made, like Osborn is now black, and of course his son is Harry is now black.
Yeah.
There's Dr. Connors is also black, and not only that is a woman. Lonnie Lincoln, which is a character that I learned later on is a villain, is also he was always black, I think. Yeah, but anyways, a lot of people were just complaining that it's woke. This is woke, and it came to a part where my sister and I were watching the show, and everything that we saw, like a stop sign or something that had like showing care, I was like, oh, this is woke. Turn it off, Tatiana. Turn it off, Tatiana. This is woke. But unfortunately, it only wasn't just people in the comments. It was Spider-Man's own voice actor, who they asked him, "What is the biggest fear? Did you have any fears playing Spider-Man?" And he was like, "I just was scared that the show was gonna be woke." And that's when everyone was like, "What?" Even Spider-Man was all like on this bandwagon of like, "No, I was just scared that I had no problem playing Spider-Man. I just didn't want it to be woke culture." And everyone was like, not disappointed.
You know what really like makes me laugh about hearing people say shit like that is there's legitimate moments where I'm like sitting at my desk and I'm like, do I care about movies and shows too much? And then these people, I'm like, nah, these people care about movies.
No,
and shows
they're
too much.
people care way too much about a lot. And the whole woke thing, I feel, is like the other side of that too, where it's like there are multiple sides of everything, but the whole woke side thing is it's a little overplayed for sure.
It's also a little cringe. I'm not gonna lie.
It is. I mean, just people arguing about like there's even just constant things about that.
Like I'm all for inclusion, and even like you want to make a couple different characters, different ethnicities or genders, go for it. It's a fucking cartoon show on Disney Plus. It's not like it's the MCU. It's not like it's gonna lose Disney a shit ton of money. But you know what you could also do? You could not watch it. You could go watch literally anything else.
Yeah, I feel like the culture of nowadays is very much hate watching, and that's also not good. Like there's so much like even on Instagram, it's like people are like, I hate this. Like, what are we doing?
You're saying that we should just consume even though it's bad?
I'm saying you shouldn't steal my fucking intellectual property, Joe. You steal my joke.
We've both been doing that for mad long.
I'm gonna sue you for stealing.
If you really think about it, though,
that I
like
wrote for this show,
like. There are shows that are cartoons or like live action shows that fail very quickly because people don't like them. So I think that when people like complain about the woke, it's really like loud minority, right? Like
it's the show is good and people are finding another thing to complain about.
Like
that makes sense.
What was that show that people complained about? There was like a reboot of like what was Scooby Doo, right?
Or something like that.
Yeah.
But like here's the thing. At the end of the day, it's not like it's gonna matter all that much in terms of like let me find the right way to say this, because in Velma's case, like that was truly like a bad show all around. But I don't think the what made that show bad was the fact that they changed ethnicities, like Velma was Indian or Shaggy was black. I just think it was a poorly written show. Like it was meant to be like for an audience that was not watching it, so the people that were watching it were like, what the fuck is this, you know what I mean? Whereas in this case, it's like I'd argue it's kind of hard to make a bad Spider-Man anything nowadays.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it's like, even if you don't want to watch this Spider-Man cartoon on the same streaming service, there's like 4 other Spider-Man cartoons. So it's like,
it's a fucking
Marvel's not going to
cartoon.
lose any money. It's
Yeah,
just fucking...
You don't like this one. Next.
Exactly.
It's a fucking cartoon. Like that makes it like it's one thing. It's like if you had like a real life character and you made them and you changed history and you were like, now we made them black. It's like, no, it's not a real fucking person.
Yeah.
I think that makes it so much worse. It's just like, how fucking dare you? Like the Disney audience has like this like pride in like wholesomeness and like this is the character and they are real. It's like they like you can't change his character, and it's like
this mermaid is
there was hate with the
white.
mermaid thing. There was hate with She-Hulk and like a bunch of other shows on Marvel and Disney Plus. Like I feel like this is a common thread with like superhero people and even more Disney adults.
It'd be a different story if they cast like Viola Davis to play Thomas Edison.
That's what I mean.
Like,
it's like Gandhi and they whitewashed him or something.
Yeah.
And they actually instead of Ben Kingsley, it was like the whitest fucking guy ever. Like that.
Like
that
fucking,
is, yeah.
like
that,
Michael
fucking,
Cera's guy.
Yeah. I don't know. How did we get here, bro? That's fucking great.
Whatchamacallit. Last thing I wanted to say, there's that show Dandaran. I brought it up on the podcast before.
Yes.
Person made fan art. This is just someone expressing
Someone made fart?
Yeah, fart. They made fan art just expressing what if the characters were black? And they got so much hate from them. The people that are like, no, it's not. Stop trying to change it. This is not. Can we make Black Panther white if I were to draw it? And people are like, if it's fan art, if you want, do it. Like
There was
homie has not been on X.com where
there was a girl that got roasted because she was like, yo, there needs to be a black Family Guy. Like she drew herself as a black Family Guy, and then she like tagged Seth MacFarlane. And she goes like, Seth MacFarlane need to hire me to be a black Family Guy, and all the comments were like, has she not seen the Cleveland show? Like there was the whole fucking thing.
And also like there's other people like, here's what you would look like if you were black or Chinese.
Right, that was the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But just to swing it around one more time to that. Not in the whole woke shit. I did think the show looked cool. I actually also didn't think the art style would be appealing, but I think what got me into it was the action. So as long as there's more of that, I feel like I'd be into it.
Yeah, the first swinging scene in episode 2, it kind of solidified it. Like, okay, this art style can cook. I'm like,
I didn't see it, so.
There's a part where he webs up a guy and he was like, all right, bye, and then he jumps off a building and does like a 30-second like swinging scene.
Why you gotta spoil it? Fucking Spider-Man has webs.
He has
Since
webs.
when?
Crazy.
Bro?
He's on a building.
Yeah. It looks like for the long run, we're not gonna see the classic red, blue, and black suit, like his iconic suit. But I think that they know what they're
gonna
doing.
bring it in at the end.
They're gonna leave it as a season finale or something, and it's gonna get everyone hyped.
Like, oh, what's that? And then it's a little red and blue in the corner of his closet. I've seen that play before. Anybody want to talk about Kanye's tweets last night?
What did he say?
He said some stuff.
He said a lot. I knew it was bad when there were people in I follow on Instagram who I probably should unfollow that are pretty racist, and they were like, all right, now I'm on board, which is like now's the time to be on there, like now, because he tried selling a White Lives Matter shirt. He said what, Hitler had drip or something like that.
He did say Hitler had drip.
What he said?
He said Hitler was so fresh with like 8 H's. There's a lot. I don't know the rest of it.
Kanye did say a lot, but in preparation for this, I went ahead and saved my 3 favorites.
Oh, okay. Those I already said my favorite.
Yeah.
Fucking.
I went ahead and got my 3. I bookmarked my 3 favorite Kanye tweets last night.
I have another one.
He said, "I can say Jew as much as I want. I can say Hitler as much as I want. Matter of fact, I do say it when I want." So there you go. Then he said, "If you see anyone around me, know that they are providing a service. Friends are for kids." So I guess we're all children here, you know, or technically we're all providing a
Did you
service.
see the one where he was like, no rich man is truly funny. I pay people to laugh at my jokes.
I did not see that one.
No
But did you see
way.
this one, which has to be pound for pound the best Kanye tweet of the night? "I'm a user. I only have people around me that are useful. If you can't be used, then you're useless." Guy's spitting fucking bars on Twitter, man.
Dr. Seuss, tongue-tied.
Oh, fuck. More like Seuss-less.
Call me Adolf Hitler and your bitch still wants to fuck.
Adolf Hitler, bro. He's gonna trademark that. He's gonna turn that into something.
Adolf Hitler.
And
I'm sure there's someone already trying to make that a thing.
Well, he's making it a thing. He's selling shirts like his Yeezy.com, where he sells his $1 billion sneakers. He's starting to sell like Nazi. He tried putting up like Nazi merch.
Did you see him at the
Like White Lives
Grammys
Matter.
last weekend?
No.
I just
like,
saw that his wife was like naked.
Yeah, she like showed up to a. I don't know if that the dress was translucent or that the dress had like a printing of her naked body on it, but either way, it was like completely naked and flesh tone. But like that was the headline, and then like a day after, it got like reported that fucking Kanye wasn't even invited to the Grammys, and they kicked him out. They were like, "You're not allowed to be here."
I heard that was like fake, and they were like, "Oh, he went and he just walked the carpet and left."
That's still fun.
Yeah,
like,
and I saw a picture of the dress, and the dress is just like, it looks like a fishing net. It's just like a flesh colored net, basically.
But I couldn't tell if like it's hard. It's really hard to tell me
Yeah.
to tell the picture. You can't see if it's like that's her actual body underneath it, or if her body's like printed somehow, or I don't know. The point is, she looks naked.
Is she really naked or is pretend naked?
Because he's done that before.
Yes,
He has done that before.
he's an interesting guy.
Yeah.
Man. Fucking.
I mean, I thought he was at the top when he hosted the Pornhub Awards. I thought he was really.
He did that.
He was the executive producer of the Pornhub
I
Awards.
didn't know this.
And he made that song with what's his name, Lil Pump. He made a song with.
Oh,
and he made like sketches that would go in between or something like that.
What the fuck? This guy's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, and like that honestly, that was like the end of his peak. Sad to say it. That was like the end. After the
great
Grammys
project.
and all that. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Remember that music video where he had like the Minecraft suit with?
Yeah, that was it.
the
That was
one.
it. Yeah. Roblox shit.
I just
yeah.
remembered that. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
What a guy.
What a guy.
Genius.
We're actually going to talk about Kanye West for the next 15 minutes.
No, we're not.
No.
No, we're not.
I got something else to talk about that's pretty genius. The writers of SpongeBob, the creators of SpongeBob, they now have created their home box set to celebrate the 25th anniversary. And I saw the first thing they said, it was the first. It said the first 300 episodes, and I was talking with my girlfriend about it. I was like, "Wow, that's a lot of fucking episodes. 300 in one box set." And I was looking at the episodes, and once you get past 100, I was like, "What the? I've never heard of this." Patrick files. Patrick is doing tax evasion. Squidward is holding an auction. This, and I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, we only
episodes?
watched it when we were like little. We moved on to like Nick at Night and like iCarly. At least I did.
So that's when I realized like they had other boxes. There was like the first 1 to 200, and it's like a smaller box but similar art. And then they have the first 100, and that's everything that we know. Because like once it starts getting past 80, it gets a little hard to remember. But the first 100.
Here's the thing about it. It's like, what, 22, 24 episodes to a season. So after like the 70-something mark, that's after season 3. You're starting to get into the murky waters, at least for me.
Yeah.
And season 4, it's like a lot of that is in my head.
Yeah.
But then even there's some season 4 ones where it's like the second half of the episode, I'm like, I do not remember this
Also,
shit.
sorry to revert it, but the idea of Patrick evading taxes is really funny to me. Just because, like, when you think about it,
It makes sense.
It makes perfect sense.
He's like, I didn't know.
Bikini Bottom is a whole fucking established governmental society. They are definitely paying taxes, and that motherfucker does not know what taxes are.
Well, he's also living under a rock.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
probably
Literally.
don't even know
He's
under
there,
there.
yeah.
They probably don't even know he's under
That's
there.
He's
amazing.
practically fucking squatting
You
at
didn't
this
pay
point.
for 27 years, man. No, because it's like a lot of SpongeBob stole, like, not that they stole, but a lot of SpongeBob episodes are based off of like other pop culture references and things like that. So I wonder if in the later episodes they did that, or were they just like fucking let's steal some Seinfeld episodes, which actually would work because if you think about it, Kramer and you really
Patrick, what are you doing?
well no
You gotta
because
go back to the Krusty
SpongeBob
Krab.
is Seinfeld, Patrick would be
Costanza.
I guess, but then Kramer would be no because Kramer
No,
like
I can see Kramer being Squidward.
but Costanza.
because Squidward kind of has his like crash out moments. you know,
Yes,
he's like,
yeah, and he's like lanky.
SpongeBob, what are you doing, man? We
Yeah,
gotta
honestly, you're right, but then Costanza's like the
and then Elaine is Sandy.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, we figured it out.
I don't think we had to figure it out, but we figured it out.
I'm
so,
sure someone drew them.
Oh, that's
yeah.
amazing. Yeah,
If they did, I'll find it. And here it is. And if they didn't,
they
I'll
make them black.
And they're black.
we're gonna take this full circle, guys.
Black SpongeBob.
I watched something that we referenced a couple weeks ago, but
No,
that
you
I
didn't.
actually finally got around to watching, and I want to review it.
No.
But I'm going to do it anyway.
Okay.
I watched the Jerry Springer documentary on Netflix.
I want to watch that. Yeah.
And so real quick, I'm gonna just talk about it. Try to leave it real brief, and then I'm gonna give you my number score.
Okay.
All right.
So the documentary follows kind of like the creation of the Jerry Springer show. It was cool watching it with Mildred, who knew nothing about him or the show. So it was cool to like say before she saw it, like, yeah, he was like the mayor of Cincinnati and shit like that. Because if you didn't know, Jerry Springer used to be like a politician and even a news anchor before he became a reality TV star. So it talks about the creation of the show. It goes more along the lines of the actual show's production, like what they did for the first couple seasons. It basically talks about how when the show first started, it was really boring because he was just trying to copy what like Oprah or Arsenio Hall were already doing. But then they got on this one producer. His name was Richard something. And this guy was like, the best way to describe it is he was, oh my God, what's the word? It's escaping me. But point is this guy's the type of guy who like he just saw an angle in everything.
Yeah.
Like he just he knew what to do. So point is like his whole shtick. He actually came from a background.
Is he in the documentary or no?
He is in the documentary.
Oh, I thought
he came from a background where he used to do something in the newspaper. Oh, he used to like make those headlines, but like those dumb ones that like obviously weren't real to stir up controversy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like guy fucking impregnates a dog or some shit like that.
Yeah, or it's something with a god a lot of times.
So he kind of took that formula to Jerry Springer and was like, people are going to watch it. It's going to make people emote in some way or another. So let's just make it, you know, let's just keep going as far as we can. So he was kind of the one behind all like the crazy shit that would happen on Jerry Springer. Apparently one of like the bigger ones that put them on the map was they got a guy who had left his wife and his 2 children to marry a show pony. And this is like all legit.
Yeah.
So again, you know, the documentary talks a lot about the production of it. And then it ends with talking about like an unfortunate incident that happened between a love triangle that was featured on the show, where this German guy was dating 2 women at the same time, married to one. But the woman that he was dating thought that like he wanted to be with her, or I think he was married to her but then left her, so she was like his ex, but they were still fucking or whatever.
Yeah.
But point is, he ended up unfortunately murdering the ex, and it was like a whole big thing. So it ends with like this whole spiel about where is the line drawn for the Jerry Springer show? At what point are they just using these people as like a show, and at what point do they step in to find help or to counsel and shit like that, you know? But point is, that being said, the documentary is like a fat 5 out of 10.
Wow.
You don't need to watch it.
Damn.
That's disappointing.
Did not really enjoy myself.
So you're telling me the Wikipedia page and all the info I knew, I didn't learn anything?
If you read the Wikipedia page for the Jerry Springer show, not only would you get everything in the documentary, you'd get more. And it'd probably be that much more entertaining. I think what really annoyed me about it is I didn't know how many episodes were in the documentary going into it. And there's only 2. So the first episode is like setup. And then the second episode is like guy kills wife, and then one of the guys leaves the show because he's like, I can't deal with it anymore. It's too much pressure.
And then that's it? That's not a fucking documentary.
And then what's really annoying about it, and then what's really fucking annoying about it is that whole spiel that happened with the guy killing his wife happened in 2004, and the show ran on until like 2012 for like a whole another 8 years. So there's literally a whole 2/3 left of this show's fucking story, and they were like, we'll leave it here. So literally they tell the story about this murder that happened literally 21 years ago, and then it cuts to the black screen, and they're like, the Jerry Springer show ran for this many more years. Jerry Springer died in 2023. Credits. And I'm like, what the fuck kind of documentary is that?
That sucks.
It'd be like if you made a 9/11 documentary and it ended like after 9/11, like okay,
right away. Yeah,
it happened. That's
you
it.
see like the
It's
plane
like,
hit.
what are
and it
the
was
effects?
Like,
Like,
what
it's like what are the implications? And the person's like,
the end.
they back away in their chair.
Yeah.
Like that's literally what they did. Because the whole point of the documentary is that like you have to have a fucking spin.
Yeah.
Is like you have to take a side. They kind of set it up. It's like, well, what's the side? Is the side is this a good show and it's worth it, or are we taking advantage of those people? And they're like, show's ended.
And like the last thing I'll say is there's like, I don't know, like every documentary, especially like these juicy Netflix kind of true crime, or not true crime in this case, but like these taboo documentaries.
Yeah.
They have this like thing about them where they like to spice up the cinematography, or not even that, but just the writing and stuff to make it feel more dramatic than it actually is. And that's fine in some capacity because you have to draw viewers in and you have to keep them engaged. But in this case, there were a lot of times where it just felt phony. Like there'd be a person talking about their experience on the show and they're saying some shit like, yeah, it was a really like crazy time for us, da da da. But it was literally just like two midgets wrestling in a mud pit. And it's like, it's not, you know what I mean? But like they're setting it up like these were big pivotal events. But it's like they're not. Just like leave that for the big stuff, like the guy who got murdered or the guy who got punched in the face for the first time on the show or whatever. But point is, it's just not a really great documentary, unfortunately. I was expecting it to be more like the Vince McMahon doc, but it was not.
Yeah.
But that being said, you could just listen to what I said about it and you'll be happy. So there you go.
When you were describing the guy that was on the show that helped Jerry that made all those like titles, this guy, would you say that this guy basically made the rage bait before rage bait has existed? Like they gave it the name?
Kinda. Oh, the word I was looking for was opportunist. That's the word I was looking for. He saw an opportunity in everything. Like people would come to him. Oh, and that was the last thing. There was like one more thing where the guy who quit the show, his breaking point wasn't the horse. His breaking point was and it's a bit graphic, but he got a call from a woman who said that she wanted to go on Jerry Springer because she wished that her father would stop calling the prostitution service that she works for to call her to come through. Because every time she went, she had to go through with the whole thing, and he's been calling since she was like 16 years old and working for it. So then point is he basically heard that and was like, there's no way that the father's going to agree to come on. Father agrees to come on. So like, what the fuck?
Crazy.
They invited both of them to Chicago, which is where the show was filmed, and put them in separate hotels under pseudonyms. And then when this producer went to go check up on the woman before the show, he found out that the father still found her, and like the father opened the door and they had just gotten done like having sex. And that's when he was like, I can't work for this show anymore. It was like,
that's
crazy.
That was when it was like,
witness. Yeah,
and that was supposed to be the point where, like, because like a big thing with the Jerry Springer shows, people always talk about the legitimacy of, you know, what was real and what was not. And granted, I think part of why the documentary stops is because I think a lot of stuff that happened post 04 was probably fake. But a lot of the stuff that happened in the early seasons of Jerry Springer was completely legitimate. Like all that racist shit, all that
even the
stuff.
kind of like late stuff, unless it was like super ridiculous, it was probably real, and they just kind of tweaked a couple of things here and there, like a good old like a good old comedy story.
But the documentary, unfortunately, not too great. The actual Jerry Springer show, it's pretty enjoyable. Pretty good watch if you want to go back and watch some old episodes. So
bring out the olives. Wait, that's Maureen.
R.I.P. Jerry. Also, shout outs to him for having a threesome with 2 porn stars. Yeah, apparently that just got completely brushed under the water. Yeah.
Did you learn that in the doc?
Yeah, I didn't know that. Literally I kid you not, everyone who talks about it, they were like, Jerry Springer was just such a nice guy that everybody was like, all right. They just let him have his one. Apparently, even his wife, like they had divorced. But they were like so amicable that they like stood friends, and she was like, "Yeah, it's cool. It's Jerry." Like, fucking,
you know what? Good for him.
Fucking Jerry's, man.
He's
you
a
know?
good guy. Yeah.
They're good dudes.
Good on him.
It's fucking hilarious.
We get our first scandal. We know who it'll be.
You know, it wasn't even that he was a bad guy. I was just, I was real disappointed.
How about I had a terror. I'm not even gonna say what I was gonna say.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. All the topics done.
I think so.
Speak now, or forever hold your peace.
Your peas?
All right, we're gonna do Jam in the End of the Week, and also Joey has something that he wants to share with us.
Yeah, I have a horrible sweet tooth, so I'm always picking out some sort of dessert while I'm at lunch. And one of the desserts I found, I was in the mood for something sweet, like juicy, and I picked this Hasbro gummy bear variant because they make gummy snakes, gummy cola, gummy fucking everything.
Yeah.
And it just the texture of it looked interesting, and the wording. I got this for us. These actually slap. They're Hasbro's Berry Clouds.
I've had these.
Ooh.
These have become like my favorite of the Hasbro series. We have blueberry, wildberry, and strawberry. So
it's kind of like if you had the watermelon one where it's 2 different textures. It's like that, and it.
I just want the blue one.
Yo, I
good.
smell that from here, man.
It's berry
purple.
flavored, and it kind of has this like super soft marshmallowy feel on top of a gummy bear feel. And I don't know, it just feels it feels and tastes really good.
It's pretty good candy. people at Haribo know what they're doing.
Solid.
Pretty
I've
pillowy.
been saying Hasbro. That's the toy company.
Yes. All right. My jam of the week is going to go to a band called Good Kid. The song is called
Good band.
Mimi's Delivery Service. They are a good band. And I heard the song on a Marvel Rivals YouTube video by the YouTuber Kenzo. And I totally remembered that apparently this band is really cool. They have a thing where like the majority of their music is like allowed to be used on YouTube. Like they're like a bunch of young guys, and they're like, despite the fact that their music is pretty popular now, they're like, yeah, you can just use them in YouTube videos. It's perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, shout outs to Good Kid.
They're a good band. My yam of the week is from the band Grayscale. There's a trend going on where every pop punk and emo band I liked from the last 10 years is now just a pop group. But it's okay. It slaps. The song is Don't Leave Me in the Dark. Good song.
Let's see. I'm just going to pick the slam that was the last thing I liked. It's Angel by Grupo Frontera and Romeo Santos.
Interesting.
I chose that because recently my girlfriend and I went to a place called Tonitas in New York that has been highlighted because of Bad Bunny's newest album. It's a Puerto Rican Caribbean social club where people just go and vibe, talk about the island, talk about culture, what it's like to be a New Yorican and Puerto Rican. But the song was playing in the background while I was playing dominoes, and I was really vibing with it. That was the last song I liked.
Cool.
Lit. My song of the week is gonna be a song that just came up in my fucking shuffle, and I was like, oh, this is going in the playlist. It's that simple sometimes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's a song by Hotel Ugly. It's called The Ballad of Eddie Jabuley.
Cool.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Cool
I
name.
was vibing with it.
All right. Jerry, why don't you lead us out this one? Go ahead.
All right. Yo, bye.
No,
That was
make sure to go ahead and subscribe
That was
to Team
great.
Joystick. Make sure to like this episode of the Joystick Show. And now, Jerry, you want to lead us off? What you got?
Welcome to the Joystick.